Welcome back to Society Case Files. My name is Robert, and today I'm going to do a couple of models that I thought were a little bit challenging, but they're not part of any specific set, so I'll timestamp and do my best to describe what's going on. But basically, we're going to be building a Novitiate with the Flamer. We're going to be doing a Sicarian character from the Adeptus Mechanicus, and we're going to be doing a Warlock from the Daughters of Khaine. So with those three models, they were challenging enough that as I was building them, I thought, maybe someone would like to see some of what's going on with these, and then I can discuss it if there were any specific challenges. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Otherwise, we're going to dive right into the build, and I'll kind of describe what's going on and why I thought these were a little bit tougher than the average models. So in the case of both the sister and the Sicarian, the Adeptus Mechanicus, they have some strange legs, and setting the legs up was enough of a challenge that once I started getting into it, I was like, oh, I've got to make a video for this. Specifically, the character I'm building right there was just kind of challenging. So I put one of the legs on the back and one on the front. It just made more sense. But even doing that at the end, when I had to put her on her base, she didn't line up as well, and I thankfully did it quickly enough to where she wasn't completely dry, so I could have a little bit of give to move her parts around and get them on that base. Even so, without basing the model properly, putting the cool sand on it and that sort of thing, it was gonna be kind of rough. So anyway, something to keep in mind when you build something like this. If you see that you've got to do the legs first, just go at it with some patience and know that it's going to be a little bit trickier. Especially as you can see there, I'm positioning a leg and practically balancing it on that part before I can put it together. And that's why I'm going to use the clamp and set it aside and then get to work on the Warlock. Now, the reason I did the Warlock is because I've already kind of talked about it in another video where I just sort of showed them, but I had two more to build, so I thought I'd film one and let you see what it looks like. And all around, it's not completely insane. It's not the worst thing I've ever had to do, but it was worth talking about and showing it on camera. But anyway, I'm not going to yammer on anymore. I'll talk to you at the end, and we'll see you then. And there you go. 3 characters that were a little bit more challenging. As you can see, by the time I got around to filming this reveal, I'd already done some work there. I was pretty passionate about getting my sister done so that I could finish off the kill team. As far as the horse goes, that obviously didn't get primed yet. But the other character is ready because we're doing the Hunter Clade kill team as well. So that's where all of this came from. But as you can see from the video, there's a little bit of challenge. That horse has some strangeness to it. I got one more to do, and I'll have finished off the spearhead for the Daughters of Khaine. It's kind of exciting. Anyway, if you like this kind of content and you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if there's a model you'd like to see, let me know, and I'll try to put it on the list. Otherwise, this is Robert with Society Case Files, signing off.